This is Monty with Build Brothers, starting my digital inspection for a realtor. We're in the Del Mar area, and for these digital inspections, we always like to start underneath the eaves just to see an idea of the condition of the wood. And the eaves consist of, we have the fascia, we have the rafter tails, and then we have the starter boards. And we do see termite droppings. So there are signs that, active or not, there has been termite damage on these, this wood. And taking a look at the felt paper underlayment, what we're looking at is a Malibu style concrete tile roof, and essentially what we want to focus on is the felt paper condition, and this is what's going to do most of the waterproofing. You can see that the nail has actually rusted and bent. This is why this has actually slipped down, and this just occurs because of water exposure for years and years. This property was built in 1996. And it looks like some parts of this roof have been updated in the past, but a couple things I wanted to point out on that. So we do see water standing on this first story, and we're gonna go ahead and move up to the second story. And also, this property does have drip edge. It's that metal flashing that goes along the fascia board that allows the water to freely flow off and not soak into the fascia. So along the valley, you can see just how crowded this is and how much debris is actually allowed to, get stacked on there. So we want to make sure that these valleys are evenly spread, just so it allows that water and debris to freely flow off. And another thing I noticed that's critical on this roof is along the ridgeline. The ridgeline is completely open. We have the tiles that go along the ridgeline. All of these are actually slipping down and exposing that ridge board. And you can see what happens to the paper when that ridge board is completely exposed. Just gets absolutely damaged. And I actually didn't touch any of these. They were already like this when I came up here. I went ahead and pulled this slip tile further down just so you can see that water staining that's occurring near the dormer vent. Now around the pipes and penetrations, we don't see any mastic around these. So these are actually open. There's no seal around these penetrations. And again, you can see how much exposure is occurring on here. So again, because these are exposed, that means that they're open to the water, and then that rain is able to soak in this wood. Well, that makes it a perfect environment for termites to thrive. All right. And we see something strange occurring on the paper. Again, you can see that, this section was actually updated, but there's actually moisture that is allowed up and under the wood decking when they put the paper on. So that's what's causing this bubbling. Again, we see more slip tiles and a ton of water standing. See, this felt paper is actually taking quite a beating. It's turning into dust. Again, these are all completely open. And we do see some termite droppings on here as well. We have some slip tiles. Again, these seals are completely open. These are all slipped. And I can try my best to, push these back up, but most likely they're gonna be slipped again. See these? I didn't touch any of these. These are actually already like that. And what I went ahead and did is pulled these down just so you can see more water staining underneath here. Again, we have severe damage on the felt paper. And then one last spot I wanted to show was this part. Again, you can see that water staining on here, and it's making the product very brittle, and that's why it's starting to get very wavy, right? Because that water's soaking in it for years and years. And we have exposed nail heads scattered all throughout. Same thing up here. This is open. And then we have another one over here. Normally the mortar is supposed to cover these nails, but it's not. So this is showing me that, you know, this roof was updated, but it was done unprofessionally, right? We have multiple critical areas that are, you know, prone to premature leaking. And this roof, yeah, most likely I wouldn't be surprised if it has problems, you know, occurring currently. So my professional recommendation for the new homeowner, and if they want to be proactive, is to do a lift and reset on this. What we want to do is get down to the wood decking, address any rotten wood or termite damaged wood there is. That gets done on a discovery basis. And then we want to update that felt paper underlayment, do 2 layers of felt, and or what we've been doing nowadays is the fire graded stick and peel underlayment. So that's going to be that titanium FR underlayment. Now essentially stick and go on to the wood decking. And then we want to get rid of these dormer vents and add O'Hagan vents. Those are the low profile vents. They'll look like this. It's going to look a little different on this roof. And that allows the roof to breathe. All right. And most of these tiles are in a good condition. Tiles last a long time. They actually cure under the sun and become harder. So these are good to be reused. And yeah, I will get this out to the realtor. Thank you.